The insane truth about Klaas Bruinsma. Who was Klaas Bruinsma? One of the most renowned drug lords in Dutch history, Klaas Bruinsma became infamous for his ruthlessness and vast criminal organization. His experience serves as a warning about the corrupting influence of riches and the lengths individuals will go to keep it. How did Klaas Bruinsma become the most powerful figure in the criminal underworld? This page sheds light on this fascinating figure's life, illegal activities, and final downfall by delving into the bizarre truth about him. Early years. Klaas Bruinsma, who was born in Amsterdam in 1953, was raised in a prosperous household. Because of his father's success in business, young Klaas had a good childhood. His luxurious existence would not continue long, though, as his father's business operations started to struggle and put the family in debt. This probably had a big impact on how Klaas would turn out, along with his rocky connection with his father. Bruinsma was drawn to the criminal underground as a young person. His involvement began with small-time stealing and progressed to more serious crimes. His charisma and natural brilliance enabled him to assemble a group of like-minded people who got into drug dealing. Klaas had established himself as a key figure in the Dutch drug scene by the age of 24. Constructing an empire. Klaas Bruinsma's illegal enterprise grew quickly in the 1970s and 1980s. In order to establish a broad network for the smuggling of drugs, especially hashish and marijuana, he strategically allied himself with other criminal organizations, both locally and internationally. His empire eventually spread to Turkey, Morocco, and South America, in addition to the Netherlands. His ruthlessness increased as his business expanded. Bruinsma was a man who would not hesitate to use violence and was renowned for his cold-blooded manner. He immediately established a reputation for being absolutely ruthless towards his adversaries, maintaining control through intimidation and murder. Due to his level of violence and his great stature, which demanded respect from those around him, he was given the nicknames de Lange, the Great One, and de Domine, the Reverend. Klaas Bruinsma's criminal enterprise was thought to be among the biggest in Europe at its height. He had connections to some of the most potent international crime syndicates and oversaw a fleet of ships. His desire for luxury grew as his income did. He gained notoriety for leading an opulent lifestyle that featured costly parties, fast automobiles, and stunning women. Downfall. But when law enforcement organizations honed in on Klaas Bruinsma's operations, his empire began to fall apart, much like that of many other crime lords before him. International collaboration in the fight against drug trafficking increased in the 1980s, and the Netherlands was no exception. Together with their counterparts in other regions of Europe and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, the Dutch police started taking down Bruinsma's criminal organization piece by piece. Klaas was detained in prison in 1986 after being charged with cocaine trafficking. He carried on influencing the criminal underworld while he was in prison. He was able to keep part of his authority over his empire thanks to his many connections and wealth, but it was obvious that his influence was dwindling. When Bruinsma was released from prison in 1990, his illegal enterprise was finally coming to an end. Many of his most faithful lieutenants were either arrested or turned against him as his inner circle started to split. Law enforcement was applying constant pressure, and the criminal landscape was changing as new actors appeared and established alliances broke down. The formerly invincible dominion of Klaas Bruinsma was now in danger of disintegrating. It was assassinated. Klaas Bruinsma's life ended abruptly and violently on June 27, 1991. He was shot many times at the age of 37 in what appeared to be a targeted hit outside the Amsterdam Hilton Hotel. The Dutch underworld was shocked by his murder, which effectively put an end to his reign as the largest criminal ever to operate in the country. Initially unknown, the assassin of Bruinsma was subsequently identified as Martin Hoogland, a hitman who had contacts in the criminal underworld and was a former police officer. The 2004 murder of Hoogland, who was imprisoned for unrelated crimes, adds yet another layer of mystery to the tale of Klaas Bruinsma's life and demise. Legacy. The life of Klaas Bruinsma serves as a lesson in the perils of unrestrained ambition and the corrupting effects of power. His criminal empire produced untold money and luxury, but it also caused a great deal of suffering as drug addiction and drug-related crime spread throughout Europe and the Netherlands. Even after Klaas Bruinsma's demise and the dissolution of his criminal enterprise, his actions continue to have an effect. His death serves as a reminder of both the sinister allure of the criminal underground and the dogged drive by law enforcement agencies to bring down criminal enterprises. Klaas Bruinsma's life has been portrayed in literature, documentaries, and motion pictures, reflecting popular culture's interest in this mysterious figure. His life and demise have captivated audiences ever since, serving as a sobering reminder of the harsh reality of organized crime. Klaas Bruinsma rose swiftly and brutally to the top of the Dutch criminal underworld. His empire, which spanned multiple continents and was based on drug trafficking and a violent strategy for holding on to control, made him one of the most feared characters in the underworld. But in the end, his unquenchable thirst for money and power brought about his downfall and terrible demise. Thanks for watching.